Back in the olden days, they used to say even a broken clock is right twice a day. As I've discussed before on this channel, China is in a death spiral. So many mistakes, it's hard to know where to begin. I'll leave a few examples in the description and in the tags. To summarize, China, as an economic world power, is already dead, just hasn't fallen down yet. But I saw recently that there are at least two things that China is doing right. Amidst all the catastrophic decisions being made in that country at the moment, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that the Chinese people themselves, historically, have had some great strengths. One of them is hard work. Another is self-sufficiency. You could sum it up using the old Soviet Union saying, "He who does not work, neither shall he eat." Now, these two redeeming qualities, along with everything else, are rotting away in real time in China. They'll probably be completely gone in another generation. But for now, the age-old virtues of hard work and self-sufficiency are still alive in China. As most people know by now, China has been struggling economically for some time and has been implementing, for the most part, increasingly destructive ways to try to remedy that situation. But the one mistake they are not making so far is the Western turn toward a large and ever-expanding welfare state. You see this headline from the Wall Street Journal. I've been one of their subscribers for many, many years now. But along with just about every other major media outlet, they have started to lurch toward the left in a way that betrays the very core of why this publication was founded. When Elon Musk was acting like a socialist, he could do no wrong. Glowing headlines all across the board. Now that he's acting like a capitalist, things have reversed. At least in the eyes of Wall Street Journal reporters. Very aggravating. Anyway, as you see from this article, Western experts, boy, has the meaning of that word changed in recent years. When I hear experts these days, I think hypocritical elites with the leftist agenda. Anyway, Western experts say that more stimulus is needed, and what China needs to do is initiate more handouts to consumers and create a big welfare state. Seriously. At least for now, China isn't having it. There are many ways that China should be copying the West, specifically in the way that it embraced free market reforms for decades, leading up to Xi Jinping's re-communization. But the welfare state is not something they should be copying. Unfortunately, like government bureaucrats everywhere, it's inconceivable that the answer to their quandary is more freedom for customers, not less. They'll probably build a lot more bridges and roads and skyscrapers to nowhere, but at least when those projects are done, they will not be able to lobby the government for more money. So yeah, China, good. No welfare. Good call. Check out this quote. Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, now China, good call number 2. Holding people responsible for their bad financial choices. I know, it's crazy, right? Here in the US, our government is doing everything it possibly can to make sure people are not held responsible for their bad financial choices. My wife saw a post recently by someone who had just gone through a bankruptcy hearing. When the hearing was over, they celebrated by taking everyone in the family to upscale restaurant Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. To me, at least, the bankruptcy is bad enough. But then you post online about your post-hearing spending spree. It just shows how deeply ingrained the lack of financial responsibility is here in the average Americans. Bad news. Not so fast, says China. Pioneering a concept that is alien in the West, China believes that people who borrow money should pay it back. Yeah, I know, crazy. People who borrow money and don't pay it back can't spend small fortunes riding around on China's high-speed rail line. They also can't stay in luxury hotels or fly first class. Oh, the humanity! In China, if a person's debts go unpaid, their assets are seized, leaving them with a small allowance to scrape by on. Obviously, of the many things I will never understand about Western society is this whole idea that not only can you make a load of bad financial decisions, not only can you escape the consequences of those decisions, but you can just keep spending like there's no tomorrow, indefinitely. Someone else is always on the hook. How exactly did this happen? Anyway, as is typical these days, the Wall Street Journal is full of mostly sob stories about unlucky people who bought a lot of nice stuff and are now being held accountable for their bad choices. Perish the thought. Along with the Wall Street Journal, Chinese scholars are also criticizing these policies that ensure financial responsibility as unfair. Well, if you can't rely on scholars to implement productive economic policies, who can you rely on, really? Now, unlike some others, what I am not doing here is saying that overall, China has a superior economic and social model because it does a couple of things right. Because that would be really dumb. But what I am saying is that you should learn from whoever you can, even your enemies.